Welcome back to Blockchain Pill. My name is Alex, and today we're gonna do a podcast about DFinance. And I'm joined by two very well-known members of the ICP community. The first one is Bruno Calabretta, who's the leader of the Indonesian hub, also known as Disruptives. And my second guest is none other than Aaron Bremser, who's one of the most well-known influencers in the ICP space. And I think he also has one of the biggest Telegram communities, the most active Telegram communities in ICP. So, guys, I welcome you here to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Good to be here, my man. Good to be here. Always cool to see you and always cool to be part of your show.
Absolutely. And Aaron,
Yeah,
how are you
man.
feeling? Finally on the show.
I'm feeling good, man. First time on the Blockchain Pill show. It was awesome meeting you in person, Zurich, and I'm ready to talk about DeFinance and everything.
I want us to talk about how you guys started your journey in the ICP ecosystem. Basically, tell our viewers how you guys found ICP, what you are doing inside the ICP ecosystem, and then we'll go to DFinance. So, Bruno, if you want to start, tell our viewers who you are.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Bruno. As you can guess from my accent, I'm Italian. At the moment, I live in Bali, in Indonesia, and I'm the ICP hub leader for the Indonesian hub that is called Disruptives. So, a little bit of background of how I landed into the ICP ecosystem. So, I actually started to invest in ICP since the launch of the mainnet. So, I already knew the ecosystem since 2021. Then, at that time, I wasn't involved in crypto 100%. It was my side passion. At the time, I was working as technical manager for pharmaceutical company in the USA, and at some point I quit everything. I moved to Bali. I decided to dedicate my life to blockchain, crypto, everything that is around the decentralization concept. And I started to hang out with the crypto community that was present in Bali, and the ICP community was one of the most active. This is where I met Emilio Canessa, that is the head of global adoption. And we started to hang out. I started to participate in the Supernova Hackathon, where I was invited as a judge. And then from there, I really loved what was going on. And I started to get more and more involved with the community, participating to events, supporting in any way I could. And then the biggest jump, it was when I supported the Feder Italy project for launching the first certificate on blockchain on ICP, of course, for products that are 100% made in Italy. This was amazing because it's basically a product for giving back trust to the consumer. Because consumer right now, they cannot trust the information that they get when they buy a product. So this certificate has exactly this goal. Because what is the motto of blockchain? Don't trust, verify. So after that, ICP reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to lead the ICP hub that they wanted to open also in Indonesia. The program had just started. There was, I think, 4 hubs that was currently active when I started. And then from there, my journey in the ICP got deeper and deeper, and I'm super excited about what we're doing. And by being so involved in the ICP, of course, I could see some gaps that were also, able to be converted in opportunities. And this is how the finance was created. But we're going to tell you more about this in a bit.
It's incredible how Web3 can literally change the trajectory of somebody's life. Like you
Completely.
went from something normal, and then you found ICP, and then you found Emilio, and now you're the ICP hub leader. And I see you everywhere. Like I see you on your guys' X. Like you are doing so many things and spreading the word about the Internet Computer Protocol. It's insane. It's literally insane, and always charming, and always with a smile on your face. So you're one good representative of the ICP ecosystem, and it's a pleasure to know you.
Thank you so much for this beautiful word. Appreciate it, brother.
Likewise. And Aaron, the last time we talked, I took you an interview in Zurich. I missaid your name. I said Aaron, and ICP community, they were like memeing me for that. So your name is Aaron, right?
Yes, Aaron. I think it
Aaron.
might be a little hard for you to pronounce, but
I will manage. So thank you for being here. Tell us about how your journey in the ICP ecosystem started, and what brought you here.
yeah. So the first time I found ICP was the day on launch. I think that's like where most people found ICP. I remember that day vividly. I was like on my phone. It was in 2021. I was like, what the hell is this thing? Because it launched at number 3. I was big on, I still am big on TikTok. And I made a couple of videos on ICP in 2021, just talking about it. Cause it was like, the craziest thing ever when it launched. But I didn't get really heavily involved into the ecosystem until it was literally right after FTX crashed. My friend Daniel Crypto is Good was used to be a part of the ICP ecosystem, but he was the main guy talking about on TikTok. I was friends with him, and he kind of told me, hey, you should come over to the ICP ecosystem. I was really heavily involved in Near Protocol before then. So I came over to ICP. I worked for DFinity, and now I'm working with Bruno at DFinance. And I also help out a bunch of projects in the ICP ecosystem as well, such as Magic Swap and the Alpaca team. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you also have the biggest community of people, of traders in the Internet Computer Protocol. If anybody wants to trade ICP meme tokens, what's the name of the community?
It's called IC Pumper. So it's a little funny story because I have, an extremely active community. I think I have the most active community in ICP. It's absolutely nuts. But I didn't plan it to be, so big. I literally just woke up one day, made a Telegram, and people basically just showed up. I mean, I never did, I wasn't farming airdrops or, doing any of that stuff. People literally just showed up. And I'm also, a big proponent of the meme coins as well. I help out, a lot of the meme coin projects. So all that stuff. So
I actually remember the day when you created the IC Pumpers, and to see it where it is now, I saw you sharing some of the stats. Like there is millions of messages like per week, which is insane. Like I wish we had this kind of interaction happening on Open Chat as well. But for the moment, it seems that a lot of people still prefer Telegram. So it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to be able to move them over to Open Chat.
Yeah, so just to speak on that for a little bit, in my Telegram I have a funnel to the Open Chat, and I think the one reason why it's so crucial, the Telegram and everything, is because when people come over from Solana and Ethereum, they're going through the Telegram first. That's just the reality of they don't have the exposure to Open Chat, so the first place they're always going to go, and Telegram is a huge part of crypto, so they're normally going to go through Telegram first, then funnel into places like Open Chat. So I think Telegram's super useful. I think everybody should be on it, and it's one of the best platforms to onboard people from other chains to ICP.
Let's get a little bit to what I think is a big problem in the ICP ecosystem. It's the DeFi, which is still not where many people wish it were. And I wanted to get your opinion before we dive into DFinance. What do you think is the main problem of ICP DeFi right now as it stands?
It's basically it's almost non-existent. If you think, despite we are such a big project, because ICP is big, guys. We are a top 25 blockchain, so this means that it's a blockchain that it works. But the reality is that the DeFi activity is very limited. But why? Because if you think until 2 months ago, when we celebrated the third birthday, we didn't even have stablecoin. But now we do, because now we have the CKUSDC. And also now we have new projects that are doing liquid staking. That it's something that is fundamentally, you need it for DeFi. Look at the Water Neuron project that just launched. There is another one about to launch that is called Stake ICP. So if you think there was something that was actually missing in the ICP ecosystem from the DeFi point of view, and maybe this was because, I don't know, the tech is new, the language, the way that the infrastructure is working. So probably this has created a little bit of grip and not everybody onboarded on the part of DeFi. But the reality is that an ecosystem like ICP needs DeFi. And that's where we come out with the idea of building DFinance. So we have everything to be a successful ecosystem. So far, if you go on DeFi Llama, what is the TVL for all DeFi? It's mostly 70 million, 80 million, something like this.
Which is very small. 17 million in crypto. That is super small. Yeah.
If you compare this number with the number from blockchain that have similar market cap to the one of ICP, like for example, Polygon or Near, they have a TVL that is hundreds of million involved only in DeFi. That's why here there is a huge opportunity for the ICP, because if you think, if when you go on the NNS, you will see that on the left of the dashboard there is always written the amount of ICP that is at stake. So we're talking of today price of ICP. I think it's something worth maybe 2.5, 3 billion, something like this.
Yes.
So we're talking of $3 billion that are staked. So this means that there is community, there are people that want to do something with their ICP token. But
Of course.
if you think so far, the only thing that they could do, what was it? Just to buy project early stage through the SNS, or stake them from 1 year to 8 years. So go 8 years gang. But at the same time, we know that in crypto, people wants to have also other opportunity for all these
Mhm.
diamond ends. Diamond ends, what they want to have the possibility of using their crypto without selling them, and that's
Of
why
course.
lending and borrowing it's such an important feature to have.
So, how is DFinance planning to solve and help the DeFi on the Internet Computer Protocol explode? What are you guys doing? What is the promise of DFinance?
Yeah, so I think one of the big things DeFinance is doing is it's really bringing a lot of liquidity to the ecosystem, and it's filling a massive gap. I think I've, just break it down in super like easy terms of what it's doing in general for the ecosystem. It's capturing a large market of capital that hasn't been tackled in ICP. If you look at, Ethereum and Solana, they have Aave that's grabbing a lot of the liquidity. Right now in ICP, we don't have anything. And it's a part of the reason why the TVL is so low. So I think what it's going to do, it's going to provide a lot of opportunity, and it's also going to bring a lot of liquidity to the ecosystem and help out everyone in general. It's going to boost our TVL, allow for lots of opportunities, and attract a lot more capital. So
People need to understand that we need tools like this to increase the liquidity in the ecosystem, because if there is going to be liquidity, more builders are going to come here and decide to build here because they can make money. Why would they come to the Internet Computer Protocol when we have a small DeFi ecosystem, when they can go and use worse tech like Solana or like ancient tech like Ethereum, and they have volume there to be able to sustain and grow their businesses. So this is one of the most important things that we need to be focusing inside the ICP ecosystem, and that is increasing liquidity and bringing strong, smart builders here to help develop this ecosystem. So let's go into DFinance. Tell me more details about what you guys are planning to do.
Okay, look, from a technical point of view, and this is a feedback that we got sometimes when you speak with people that are familiar mostly with the Ethereum ecosystem, is that you tell them, I'm building a lending and borrowing. They're going to tell you, okay, it's easy. You're just forking Aave, you change a couple of decimal, that's it, job done. I'm sorry. If you want to build a lending and borrowing with no predecessor on the internet computer, you got to basically reimagine the way that you are going to write the code, the way that the whole architecture is going to work. And this is exactly what we did. So we are lucky because we have a very amazing team. We have Aaron that is in charge of the marketing. We have people that are involved in community, in marketing, in development, in research. We have experts from legal, risk compliance, everything. But the reality is that with DFinance, we are really bringing also innovation that is due to the fact that we are using ICP technology. So we are not just doing of course, we need to learn from the best who are Aave, MarginFi, Radiant Capital. So let's check what were the best model that existed so far in the lending and borrowing, and let's see how we can improve it. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to improve it because we have the technology for doing it. And we are bringing a couple of innovation that so far were not existing in other lending and borrowing ecosystem. Like, for example, 100% of retention of the liquidation fee. So for those that are familiar with the lending and borrowing, usually what is happening with liquidation is that there are third party, usually bot or liquidators, this is the way that they are called, they go and check your position. In the moment your health factor goes below 1, what is happening is that your position gets liquidated. But 50% of the liquidation fees, they go to the liquidator and bots. 50% stay into the platform. So there is a lot of money that is being lost, first of all. Second of all, and another thing regarding this is that this liquidator, they are not going to liquidate any position below $100 because they're going to spend more in gas and transaction fee. And so this is making also the platform not being used at 100%. But just to give you a couple of numbers, in the last 90 days, the liquidation fee on Aave have been $6 million. And only on Radiant Capital have been $1 million. We're talking just in the last 90 days. And how we are going to use this. So we are introducing another thing that no other platform is doing, that is a buyback and burn mechanism. So we want our native token to have a value. So for making to have a value, it has to be scarce. So we're introducing this buyback and burn mechanism. So what we are doing is that a part of this liquidation fee that we are generating and are going into the platform, they're going to be used for buying the token and burning it. So that in this way, the token is going to reduce in supply. And then other innovation are, of course, smart contracts that are self-executing and total independence from third-party oracles. So these are already things that you don't have at the moment on other platforms. And then another thing, and maybe I will let Aaron also dig into this a little bit, is that we are introducing some gamification. So what we are doing is that we are not going to launch. So our plan is to launch in Q4 of 2024, and our goal it will be to launch in 2 phases. The phase 1 is going to be pure lending and borrowing. So you provide liquidity, you borrow, you provide collateral, you pay back, you pay your fees. That's it. But we are not going to have any token at the beginning. We want to incentivize people by rewarding them with point that after in phase 2, after 2 months, are going to be converted into our DFinance token that will have a ticker called DFIN. And maybe Aaron can tell you more about this, because this is the cool part about gamification, bringing community, make them excited, provide something that didn't exist so far.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really awesome opportunity when the MVP of DeFinance launches. People are going to have the opportunity to just do the basic things and earn points, and eventually these points will be then converted to DeFinance tokens. So this could, probably it's going to end up being the biggest airdrop in ICP history, or it should end up being. And I think this is going to be a super super cool campaign. I'm gonna try my best to get KOLs involved, not only just in the ecosystem, but also outside of the ecosystem, and try to make this a really big moment for ICP to try and, just get as many people into the ecosystem and, get a lot of activity going. I think one of the things, that really blew Solana up, besides the fact that they have really strong DeFi, is the fact that they had a bunch of big airdrops, such as, the Jupiter airdrop and many more. And I think we can kind of bring these same things to ICP. And I think they work super well. At the end of the day, people love, opportunities just to basically, make money and stuff. And that's what, I think crypto is mostly about, making money. And this airdrop and this making point system could be a big opportunity for everyone in and outside of the ecosystem.
I agree. Yeah.
Wait, I want to add one thing, because usually when there is an airdrop, what is going to happen right away in the moment you get listed is that people are going to sell it. So there is going to be a huge dump. What we are going to do is that in phase 2, after people will convert their point into the airdrop of the DFinance token, what is going to happen is that we are introducing like lockup period. So what you can do is that now you can lock up your DFinance token for a period that goes from 1 month to 12 months, and you can get a multiplier from 1x to 25x of the total pool that is going to be allocated for reward. So if you think this is going to be also a huge incentive, for example, we took inspiration from the model of Radiant Capital that did exactly like this. They integrated with this lockup period, and in the moment they did it, their TVL, it literally exploded. And this is what you want to see. You want to see people that are going to stay loyal, that are not going to dump your token, that are going to keep it there, and they're going to make money out of things that they did in the past, because they did a certain amount of task, they got a reward, and now this reward is also going to make them achieve even more money.
I think people have forgotten like how crazy crypto can get, from the last bull run. Like we've been through this crazy long and difficult, in my opinion, bear market, and people are just not paying enough attention to DeFi. So I want to get into the details, like into the basics for the people that are watching, because I have not used myself a lending protocol. So I want to get a little bit more understanding into how exactly it works. So let's say I have 1,000 ICP. And I want to use DFinance. What exactly would be the process?
So basically, you will arrive on the platform. You can do 2 things with your 1,000 ICP. The first one is that you can provide liquidity. And then in the moment you are providing liquidity, what is going to happen is that every time that a borrower is paying fee, you are getting back 85% of the fees that are generated. Only 15% is staying into the platform. And this is already the first cool thing. So you are making money by just providing liquidity.
Cool. And I'm sorry, am I providing liquidity only with my ICP, or do I have to split it into a pair?
No, directly with your ICP.
Okay. Providing liquidity to people that want to lend ICP.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
And
Okay.
then another thing that you can do is that you can now borrow CKUSDC, for example, or CKBTC. You can borrow another kind of asset, and you can provide your 1000 ICP as a collateral.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be your collateral. So in this way, you don't have to sell your 1000 ICP to get USDC that you can use for buying a car, paying a mortgage, pay for the school of your kids, putting a roof above your head. Instead of selling your token, what you can do, you can just put them as a collateral. You can get your cash, you can use your cash, and you keep paying back your the money that you received. In the moment you get it back, you pay everything back. You get your 1000 ICP back.
Super cool. That is super cool. So for example, from 1,000 ICP now it would be like 10 grand. Like how much would you be able to lend against that?
So the right percentage of the APY are still being calculated. So we are gonna be able to provide the right amount, but I'm gonna say like 50%, 40% of what you are putting, you are gonna get it back because you have also to keep in mind the volatility of the price. If
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow the value of ICP or CKBTC or CKETH or whatever other asset you are using is dropping dramatically, of course, it might be that you are getting even more cash out of the amount of money that you are borrowing. That's why
Mm-hmm.
it depends also on the kind of asset that you are going to provide, what is going to be the percentage of collateral that you need to provide for a certain amount that you want. But
Of
all of
course.
this will be disclosed by the end of the month, because for now we are still finishing to put together and testing the smart contract and how all these percentage are going to be calculated with our formulas.
You mentioned that there is around $2.5 billion worth of ICP locked in the NNS. Are you guys planning to maybe tackle some of that liquidity and to provide loans against neurons? Like, is that has that crossed your mind?
Yeah, exactly. All these liquid staking tokens that are coming out now you can go and borrow against your liquid token. So, for example, the
Mm-hmm.
same thing that Water Neuron is doing, or the stake ICP. Of course, I think that at the moment we cannot tackle directly the money that are locked at the moment inside the neuron, but for people that are going to open new position or are going to put more ICP into their actual existing position, what they can do is that they can come there, or they can put your ICP in staking in one of these platforms like Stake ICP, and then they get a liquid token. Then they can come with this liquid token and they can use it as a collateral for borrowing without losing the interest that they're making out of the staking, without losing their ICP, without selling them. This is a huge advantage. We need to provide an alternative to all these, let's call them diamond ends. Both if they're holding ICP, if they're holding Bitcoin, if they're holding Ethereum, wherever you're holding, you don't want to sell. Like, for example, I make you an example. We, with my wife, we managed to buy Bitcoin when during this last bear, when it was around 18,000. I don't want to sell this Bitcoin, honestly. Why should
Mm-hmm.
I sell them? I prefer instead to borrow against my Bitcoin and to pay back the interest, instead of selling a Bitcoin that I bought at 18K, because I don't think that the price is gonna go back there. Why I should sell it and then buy back at 60K, 70K, 90K, whatever is the price that is going to reach. So basically, this is the main thought that the Diamond Ends is doing. I hold, I'm not gonna sell it, but
Of course,
let
of
me use
course.
them.
Yeah, if you get more liquidity out of your already existing assets, that is incredible. So I'm curious, what are some of the benefits that, and you already touched a little bit of them, but I want to circle back to it. So what are the benefits that building DeFinance on the Internet Computer Protocol has over choosing another network like Ethereum, for example?
Yeah, so I think some of the benefits that come with DeFinance building on the internet computer is the fact that there's a buyback and burn mechanism, which is something that can't be done on Ethereum and Solana. Also, there's interesting things like such as chain fusion capabilities and the reverse gas model. So these are some of these things that can make ICP DeFi greater, and specifically DeFinance as well. I think with Aave and some of these other protocols, they've done a great job. And with DeFinance, basically what we're doing is we're taking the proven methods that have worked on these other chains, and also combining it with the things that make the internet computer unique to potentially make the, number one borrowing and lending platform in all of crypto one day. And I think another one of the, kind of a little random tangent that there's a misconception sort of with some people in the ICP community is they think that, we can't have DeFi because we don't have enough users. But the reason we don't have that many users is because we don't have DeFi. It's the other way around. So, and if you want a lot of users and activity on your blockchain, you need DeFi.
Yeah, I agree. I think DeFi is one of the biggest inventions that happened with crypto. That was the innovation that, led the 2020, 2021 bull run. And I'm curious because did you guys notice any other big innovation for this bull run, or do you think it has not been discovered yet? So we had DeFi for 2021, which was insane. Like we had all the pancake swaps and Uniswaps and stuff. What is, in your opinion, gonna be the big thing this bull run? Or do you think it's still going to be DeFi, but improved DeFi?
Two letters.
Yeah.
AI.
I think
but
AI,
this is the biggest disruption. And I think that ICP is playing the biggest role over here. Because let's not forget that AI running as a smart contract, fully on chain, it's possible only on ICP. There is nothing. Everything that everybody else is doing related to AI, I'm sorry to say, but they're just using API of ChatGPT and they're selling it as they created the most amazing AI, artificial intelligence that is going to change the world. They're just using the technology of somebody else. They put maybe a front end on chain and then they tell you, hey, I'm doing decentralized AI. I'm sorry, you are not doing it. Completely not. If you want to do it on ICP. And you can see it already. Go on internetcomputer.org, ask ICP AI. The only AI where you can go and you can ask information, and it's going to tell you also from where this information are coming. Every time that we use ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever it is, you don't know how it's trained. You don't know from where the information are coming. You don't know what they put inside there, and they're never going to disclose it. Otherwise, they're going to bring them to court for infringing, I don't know how many copyright of how many people and authors. So this is a big thing, a big innovation that is on ICP. So very cool.
Yeah. That is true. And I think we're going to see AI, getting mixed with a lot of the industries that we have already. And, I remember Dominic was talking about mixing AI with a crypto wallet, something they're going on there. Let's talk about your guys' launch. So you mentioned in Q4 of this year, you guys will launch. And I assume it's you guys are going to decentralize DFinance via the SNS platform, right?
Yes. So we want to do something different from many of the other SNS projects. So we are actually already raising right now. So we are talking with a big investor. Cannot disclose it right now who is, but we are about to complete a couple of rounds from seed and private. And then we are going to use the public round for going to the SNS. And what we are going to do, and this is something that I think nobody else did it so far, and Aaron maybe can add something about this, is that we are going to use the money that we are going to raise through the SNS for providing liquidity. This is something that so far I haven't seen so many projects doing. They're paying their salaries, they're paying marketing, they're paying developers, they're paying whatever they want, but I'm not seeing a lot of liquidity going where the community should see it, for backing their token, for backing what the platform is going to do. So this is going to be something big.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit different. So if you guys are already have investors and you actually use the SNS to actually decentralize the whole thing, that's going to be different. And I think that is the way for to use the SNS is to decentralize, not to raise funds. So Aaron.
Yeah, so I guess, Bruno is saying I had a lot to talk, but I do. I think adding liquidity for a token is super, super important because I think, a lot of projects forget that their token is actually one of the biggest marketing tools and probably the biggest. When you're just influencers and KOLs making videos on TikTok, YouTube, tweets, they're always putting the ticker of the coin and they're showing off the chart. And if people are not able to trade your coin because there's no liquidity in there, you're not going to be able to attract capital. So imagine someone's coming over from Solana and they want to put, let's just say 200 grand on a coin, which is very real and does happen. And you don't have any liquidity. they're not going to be able to buy your token. So if you want to attract more liquidity to the ecosystem and you want to attract people to your project, your token needs to have liquidity. And I think this is something that other SNS projects need to do if they want to legitimately succeed in the long run. And, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good look for the ecosystem when people show up and they see that these, big projects that have massive market caps have $2,000 of liquidity. It makes zero sense. You're not going to be able to attract capital. You're going to turn off a lot of potential investors. And overall, it's not a good look for the ecosystem. So I'm super glad with DeFinance that we're going to be adding a lot of liquidity.
The projects with the most liquidity on ICP are mint tokens that have close to $1 million. So I'm sorry. So Bruno, you mentioned that you're gonna use the SNS funds to add liquidity to the token or to the platform itself, like to be able to lend the ICP.
Both.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to provide liquidity for the platform, and we're going to provide liquidity for the token. That's why we are raising before to go through the SNS. So I think this way we don't have to rely on the SNS raise for covering expenses or operation cost, but we can focus on really providing a platform that has a real use cases, that has already liquidity where people can go and they can trade the token, they can perform lending and borrowing. This is the reason. If you don't have money, how can I borrow you money if I don't have liquidity? So
Of course,
this is the main thing, and this is, I think, is going to be super cool. So just to give you a little bit of timeline, probably this timeline are going to be adjusted according to the challenges that we are facing in building our smart contract and also the time for auditing. But let's say that our conservative scenario is that by middle September we are supposed to go live. Then we are going to operate for 2 months with this point system. And then after the 2 months, we are going to launch the token. So we are going to do the TGE. We are going to open the lockup system. We are going to introduce the liquidity pool. We are going to introduce the buyback and burn mechanism. So everything will be available. And then, of course, we have a longer timeline for like phase 3 that it will be also to create a launchpad. So for those that are also providing liquidity, that are active in the platform, we are going to provide a unique opportunity for investment into projects that are into the ICP ecosystem. And this also will be connected with the Olympus platform, because of course we want to create also a platform that is interconnected with everything that is happening inside the ICP ecosystem. But for us, the most important thing is that we want to be a first mover in this case, in terms of lending and borrowing. And please take inspiration from us. Use our smart contract. Build more. We want to have competitors. We don't want to be alone into this. We need to have competitors, because the more competitors there are, the more other people are creating DeFi protocols, DeFi projects, the more we are going to bring community. We are going to bring user to ICP. Are we or are we not the best blockchain that there is around? Let's show it.
Absolutely. And we hear this, decentralization talk, and with all the SNS projects that have launched. And I think this is a question that a lot of the members of the ICP community have. What are some of the benefits of decentralizing the platform via the SNS? Why not keep it centralized?
The main point of the whole blockchain ecosystem, of the whole blockchain concept, is that you want to be decentralized. You don't want to have a central authority that is overviewing what everything is happening. And by decentralizing DFinance, we are going to bring a lot of cool things. So first of all, we can get the feedback from the community regarding how the platform is going. Feedback also in terms of what kind of liquidity, what kind of tokens the community is expecting to see. We need to have feedback. We need to have the community to telling us what is happening, what they want to see, how they want to see it improved. Plus, without counting the thing that those that are going to become like a part of the decentralized process of DeFinance, all of these are also gaining out of the growth of the DeFinance project. So these are some of the unique features that I think are going to be very beneficial for the community, but also for the platform itself. Because if you see all these platforms that are fully centralized, at the end, what is happening? There is a few bunch of people that are taking the decision, and that's it. They don't care about what are the feedback from the users, from the community, what is that they want, how can they improve it. Instead, like this, we are really creating an environment of people that are going to want to be part of this. So this is I think it's something super cool that decentralization is bringing to the table.
Right. And I think that another super big and important aspect of decentralization, especially with a project like DFinance, where there's going to be a lot of money involved, there is not going to be somebody able to do a rug pull, and basically drain the funds because there is nobody in control of the funds. It's the entire community. So that's a thing to keep in mind for the people investing in DFinance. Your funds are going to be safe because the funds cannot be withdrawn if the community doesn't vote on a proposal to withdraw the funds. And we've seen so many hacks in DeFi. People seem to forget about them. In 1 week, you forget that basically billions are gone. I think even today, there was a hack with whatever protocol, $250 million drained, which is, it's incredible. Yeah, and you could benefit from the protection that having everything on chain provides. I have one more thing that I'm curious. How are you guys planning to acquire users? Because this is one of the biggest problems of DeFi. How are you going to tackle that?
Well, I think the biggest way to acquire users is to have sustainable liquidity. So, by raising capital, we're going to have sustainable liquidity, and also by, marketing the platform well. I think that's a big part of it. I think a lot of people forget about marketing. At the end of the day, you can build the best tech and everything, but if you're not able to market it and, show it to people and everything, then you're not gonna be able to acquire users. So I think we're gonna have very, very strong marketing, and we're gonna have strong liquidity as well to go along with it, and also great tech.
Just to give you another number that I think is very important, in the moment we announced, we started to build in middle of April. So when we announced with just one tweet, we announced that we were going to build a lending and borrowing platform on ICP. In just 48 hours, we collected 5,000 wallets of people that wanted to be early user in the DFinance project. So if you think this is already, without showing the tech, without showing anything, just to say, hey, we are going to build lending and borrowing on ICP, you want to be part of it, 5,000 wallet in 48 hours.
Is there a way to invest in DFinance right now, or when should the people be paying attention?
If you are talking of investors like VC or angels or super angels, guys, please, you can reach out to me, to Aaron. You can reach out also to Blockchain Peel, and this is going to bring us the good news. We are more than happy to take more capital on board in this seed, private, and public round that we are having at the moment. And then, of course, pay attention to our Twitter. Soon we're going to have also a new Telegram with announcement, but keep an eye on our X, and there we are going to showcase what is happening, how is the building going, the audit and everything. So we are going to be completely transparent, showcase everything that is happening. So I think this way you will know when is the right date that we are going to go live.
Where can people follow the updates of DFinance and everything that is going on with the project?
DFinance_app on X is, probably the place you want to go first. Go follow us on X. We have a Telegram that should be open soon. We're also going to have a YouTube channel and a bunch of other cool stuff coming. So we should definitely be in all your guys' feed a lot, and you guys should never forget about us.
I dropped you guys a follow, and I'm looking forward to see this development going. And it's not far away. It's if it's Q4, like we're right now, we are in Q3 and pretty much going to end it. So by the end of this year, DeFi is going to start on the Internet Computer Protocol, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
If you guys have anything that you want to shout out or any message to the community, now is the time. Bruno, you can go first.
Guys, always happy to be part of the Blockchain Pill show. Follow him, follow us, DFinance_app, and always go ICP.
Thank you very much.
I would say my message is just keep working. We know that ICP is going to win inevitably. If you're, even if you're not a programmer and you can't make apps or whatever, just create content, become an influencer, do stuff. Everyone needs to chip in and do their part to make ICP win.
That is for sure. Like being part of Web3, at least, creating, writing content, doing content. Like, listen, me, I was not a content creator. I'm a video editor. And now after like a year and a half, my channel is not a big channel, but, I'm one of the relatively big voices in the ICP ecosystem. And this really goes to show that if you put in the work, you're going to get the benefits, which is incredible.
Always.
Web3 is opening doors that were not possible to open before. Before we go, What is your guys' price prediction for ICP for the very crazy bull part of this bull?
Man, I'm gonna give you the same reply I gave you last time. No, I cannot provide financial advice. So, guys, keep an eye, and you're gonna know what is the best price of ICP.
Yeah,
But
but maybe
go big.
yeah, no, in maybe a ballpark, maybe $100, $200, something, $1,000 even.
Are we talking of 10 years?
No, by 2025, 2026.
By 2025, yeah, I hope that we are going to reach our $100 by 2025. This is going to be a very good number for ICP, and maybe not even so far from reality.
Yeah, $100. I think it's FUD. I think we're gonna go way higher than $100. And Aaron is now back. Yeah, we can see you now. So Bruno wants to be more conservative with $100 ICP, which I think
He pulled me, man. He pulled me this number. I don't want to say any number.
And what is your price prediction?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for a while, but I think if we hit $100 in 2025, that would be absolutely awesome. Of course, things can get really crazy. There's a lot of new macro factors that, weren't, involved last cycle. We're seeing Wall Street in the game. BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, is literally pumping our bags. We have, a possible Trump victory, which would be super bullish. So I think, we should be able to hit $100 regardless if we have Biden again or Trump. But there is, the possibility that everything goes berserk. We hit that 150 and maybe even $200 level. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's the bear market PTSD still in action. I think it would only take something like Amazon Web Services saying that they are gonna use Utopia to move everything on chain, and we're gonna see like hundreds of dollars per ICP. It's gonna be all of a sudden. It's gonna make sense, and everybody is going to care about fully on chain, and we're gonna look back at ICP at $10 now and think like it really made sense. Like, why didn't I buy more or something like that? It's always in hindsight it makes a lot more sense. But we'll see. $100, I think most ICP holders are gonna be happy with that, and at least it's not a low ball prediction like $36 or something, which honestly it annoys me when people go that low. So yeah, we'll see. We'll look back at this video. I will tag you on X when we hit $100 and ask you for a new price prediction. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been exciting to learn about DFinance, and I'm looking forward to have you guys back maybe closer to the launch to see the latest news and what you guys are have been up to.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alex.
Cool. So that was DFinance, and it finally looks like DeFi on the Internet Computer Protocol is about to start moving like never before. And I hope you enjoyed my discussion with Bruno and Aaron. And if you're looking to learn more about DeFinance, the links are going to be in the description below. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.